Welcome back everybody to this new video Express. Today I'm going to be showing you one of the greatest tools, which is adding the subscribe form up and running into Elementor websites. So first you will need Elementor Pro. The advanced form widget will be used as a pro feature, so if you don't have this, consider upgrading. It's a worth it for list building. So, second of all, you need an email marketing services. Elementor doesn't store emails itself, so you need to send it somewhere. So popular choices include MailChimp, ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign, or MailLite, and many more actually. So, in order to get started, make sure you have an account with your chosen services and know how to access your audience list form settings there. So you likely need an API key or you integrate it directly. So to add the form widget to your page section, first you need to log in directly into WordPress Administrator and focus into the left section that says your pages. So into pages, what I needed to do, of course, is select the page where you want to add the form and click, for example, let's say I'm going to focus into a new one. Let's say that I want to go for okay, served it. I'm going to close this. Let's go for contact Elementor 111. I select, for example, this one and I choose to edit with Elementor. So make sure that we are into the 117, really important to take that in mind. And once you have now selected the element, once into the Elementor editor, on the left sidebar, we can focus for the form widget. Make sure it's one with the Pro tag. Now currently I believe that we don't have anymore the Elementor Pro version, but I think that we can still select one form view. So for example, there's the form builder that we can just select to drag and drop, and they will be apparent now in here. So more than 3 fields excluded steps are now apparent here. So what I need to do now is just select the form and put it right over down like this, and I'm gonna put it somewhere around in here, apparent now my new element. So I'm gonna put once again my form, I dragged it and I dropped it. There we go. So inside this form field, let's say this here is my form, let's say contact. This is the part when I wanted to start to editing my specific form that I have just selected. So for a newsletter subscribe form, for example, we usually need just an email addresses, maybe a name. That will be actually it. But in this case, you can remove, if you want to do unnecessarily fields, click into the X next to the field like the messages, the subject, and you can just click into this option that says edit. So we have name, email, messages. So we can delete, for example, the name, or I can just delete the email. Sorry, the message. And here into the name, let's say I select that stuff, and the email, please enter a valid email. There we go. And the form name can be edited when I clicked in there. For example, this element that says contact, let's say newsletter, and I click into my name and I click into the ID, which in this case my ID should be what is your name, and I go for the contact. Here is the type of it, an HTML file, an email, text, label. I can change the label of it. Let's say what do we, or let's say how do we call you. It has a little bit more style, and really important to enable this element that says required. So if somebody writes a name and not an email and hitting send, automatically is going to be telling you that you must add filled all of these elements in order to continue. So really important to enable all of them into both fields, right? So the same thing here, the label, let's say what is your email. My email is 123 and required. Really important. You can change, for example, the buttons. You can change the size and the actions have to submit. You can collect submission here. But really important, when you collect submission, will be saved to Elementor submission element. So if I click here and open this into a new tab, it should be appearing here into Elementor submissions, and here should be appearing my elements, right? So in that section, what I need to do now is to make sure that this appears inside here. I can put it into the footer, for example. There we go. And hit now into published related importance, right? So then this is the most important step for getting those emails into your list. What you need to do is to make sure that under the content, click into actions after submit. Once you have now selected that element, for example, I clicked into this stuff, and you can click into the plus element. Into the plus element, you can just select a popular element, for example, MailChimp, and hit into published. When you have now added the published element, what you need to do, of course, is to see the action that will appear below. So you likely need to input your API key to get from your email marketing services account, or some services allow direct authentication, which is actually going to be much more faster. Now, by default, Elementor also added collect submission action, which chases from data your WordPress dashboard, as we saw before. But if you wanted to add them later, what you want to do is to just click into them and click into user IP add, select, for example, MailChimp. Here's my API. I go for custom and choose your custom API directly from MailChimp. And there you have it, guys. Actually, the process was actually going to be really easily. So with that being said, we have now to the very end of the video, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, guys, if you want to see more great tools and how we can get started here into these elements of the Elementor, WordPress, and so much more. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully with all of this being said, we can all see you guys next time.